All right, so buenos dias. This week's parasha Nitzavim. We have a double weekly Torah portion, Nitzavim Vayelech, and as we are in the last Shabbat of the year, because this Shabbat leads us to Rosh Hashanah, so really it's an impactful Shabbat. This is how we wrap up the year. This is the gift wrapping of the year, and we present it to Hashem, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and say, hey, out of the entirety of the year, we want to give you this special Shabbat as a sign and to show how unique Shabbatot are to us, how appreciative we are of you. And this is really a great Shabbat to do more, to pray more, to come to synagogue, and to think about Teshuva. Now, when we think about Teshuva, there's a hint about Teshuva, about getting closer to Hashem in this week's parasha. First of all, Parashat Vayelech was actually said by Moshe Rabbeinu on the last day of his life. Because he said, Ben Me'av Esrim Shana, Anuchi Hayom, I'm 120 years old today, and he lived 120 years old. Reminds us of a joke. What do you tell a guy that turned 120 years old? Have a nice day. But anyways, it was his last day of life, and he speaks about Teshuva, and he says, V'shavta ad Hashem Elohecha, and we learn over here that the Teshuva could bring us until Hashem, our God. The question is, what type of teshuvah is desired? Teshuvah out of love or teshuvah out of fear? When we return to Hashem from Ahava or from Yirah? So obviously, from Ahava, when we turn to Hashem out of fear, out of just understanding the greatness, the gifts that He gives us in life, that has a higher level. Teshuvah out of fear also is great and it gets us close to Hashem, but if it's done out of love, it's greater. There's a mashal there's a little story that can explain this, which is that there were soldiers that were ready to take a little rest in the battlefield, and they started, taking off their uniforms and everything, and they started making some soup. And before they could barely, sit down for a minute, they tell them, hey, we're being attacked again. We got to put on all our ammunitions and run again to the battlefield. And everyone quickly, they didn't drink, they didn't eat, but they ran again. And one of them was a little lazy. He said, I'm going to stay here. It's been a long day. And he stays and he has some soup. And he even takes some with him on the horse a little bit. and he goes back to the battlefield slowly. But as he's galloping with the horse, some soup, boiling hot water, soup, goes and spills on his horse. The horse is so worried and so panicky from the heat that he starts running really fast. And this horse, with the laziest soldier, or with the soldier that's very scared and apprehensive, starts running straight into the battlefield, passes all his comrades, his friends, and goes straight into the enemy front line. And the enemy see him. He's like, wow, this guy is really brave. We're out of here. And they all go and they get out. His commander comes and wants to give him a reward. We won because of you all. Our enemies have now, we've defeated our enemies. It's like, what did you do? Like, he's like, I'll tell you the truth. I wasn't really that brave. I was actually the last one here, but I think some soup spilled on my horse, and that's what got me there. I think they were just scared because they didn't understand. He's like, okay, so we won't give you the greatest reward that we wanted to give you, even though we got the results, which is getting the enemy away. And for us, that means also the teshuvah. The result could come out of fear, but it's really not out of interest, out of passion, out of love, out of commitment, out of desire. So you can arrive at the same outcomes, but really the motivation should be out of ahavat Hashem, out of the love of Hashem. And we include both of them, but we try to see how the love of Hashem can incorporate us to get to a higher level and a relationship with Hashem.